Okay, welcome to our wealth accumulation examples. Using our same scenario that we had with Susan and Mike, I want to show you the real power of speed and how important time is when it comes to paying off your loan. Because as we talked about before, it's not just about paying off your loan, it's about becoming financially free and wealth accumulation over time. And as we talked about, there's many ways for you to accumulate wealth, whether you decide to add additional investment properties or just make traditional investments of some other sort, or even if your wealth is obtained through freedom in travel, spending time with your children or your extended family. And those are obviously ways of wealth that aren't monetary based. So, what I want to focus on here, though, is wealth accumulation through traditional investment. Again, just as a reminder, we are looking at Mike and Susan, and this is them being very purposeful and leveraging their payroll and their additional savings to pay their loan off in 7.4 years. Let's look at what happens by having that expanded time horizon to turn that money around, invest it in traditional stock market, and see what that looks like. So we're going to click on our wealth accumulation tab here. So what this tab is showing us is an assumption that when we pay off our loan, we are going to turn around and take what we would have continued to invest over the course of 30 years for the principal and interest only payment on that traditional loan, and we're going to start investing it. And we're going to assume that we only have an investment return in the market of 5% and that we have a traditional home appreciation of 3%. And when we do that, you can look over here and you'll see that our home value at 3% appreciation is 1,577,000. And now that's with our offset mortgage, and it's the same with traditional because the house is going to accumulate its equity and its value regardless of whether you have a loan or you don't have a loan or what type of loan you're using. But the really powerful thing here is that you have now had 22 and a half years of turning this money around and investing it. So you are able to accumulate $1,645,000 at a 5% rate of return to create an overall wealth in 30 years of $3,223,065. This, friends, is the power of the offset mortgage, speediness in paying it off, and then the amount of time you have to invest. Now, let's go back and look at what these results would be on that 20% leftover scenario. So, again, we were paying off in 10 years. And by doing this with the same calculations, we're going to make 1,333,000 for total wealth accumulation forecast of $2,910,000. I feel like I can't overstate how incredible this is. Now let's go back and look at even when we have 10%. So we pay it off in 16 years. So this allows us to accumulate an additional $764,000 in investment equity. Now, we could play with these numbers because we know that the stock market generally has about an 8% return. So you can look at these numbers if you had a more aggressive return, but these are very nice, equal, conservative numbers to use. So I'm going to go back here and just do one more example of even 5%. We don't see a remarkable difference in time, but we do still see 5 years of additional time to invest that money. So that gives us 1.7 million total. So 202,000 we gain even just by doing an extra 5%. Just as a final reminder, let's say we're 35 years old when we bought this. So we're about 43 years old when our home is paid off. So we can either just live in that individual luxury of not having a mortgage from that point forward, or we can look at our additional wealth accumulation through that time. Let's say we don't want to continue investing for that full 30 years. Maybe we only want to invest for 16 years. So you can see that gave us a gain of 462,000, and we have a total wealth accumulation of 1.5 million. As opposed, if we had done nothing but make our regular payments, we would have just the value of our house and its traditional equity at 3%, which is $1 million.